Hello everyone, this is Alyssa. Today we're talking about probably the most hyped film of the entire year, both in film circles and among the general population, that being Young Washington. I'm just kidding, it's Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Unironically though, there's some dad in America whose two favorite movies of the year are going to be Young Washington and The Odyssey. But Nolan is back from his big-time Oscar haul for Oppenheimer with a huge budget and A-list cast adapting the epic poem by quote-unquote Homer. Fun fact, there was probably not an actual person named Homer who wrote the Odyssey and Iliad, and they were more likely the result of years of oral tradition being passed down and accumulated into one story. Moving on, this classic piece of literature follows Odysseus encountering mythical stuff on his long journey home back to his wife and son after the Trojan War. Everyone assumes he is probably dead and their home is overrun by Penelope's army of simps. Unlike a lot of people, I never had to read this in school, but I did read it over the past month in anticipation of this film, and was extremely excited to see what Nolan would do with it. And unsurprisingly, this lived up to my expectations. The best part of the film, and I think what most people come to Nolan films for, is the spectacle and technical elements. He really makes the movie ticket worth your money. The limited VFX and most things being shot practically and actually being real is so clear here. There are really no shortcuts being used, and it shows. Things are just more real and visceral. It's like how Tom Cruise does his own stunts in Mission Impossible, and they're just so much better than stunts in any other action film. The set design is incredible, and the real locations they use to shoot all put you into the world of the film so well. I'm gonna kinda go set piece by set piece, but first of all, the Trojan horse looks so incredible, and I love the way he subverted and de-glamorized the original story. Also, the Cyclops looked so terrifying and otherworldly, but so realistic at the same time. Also sounded insane. The whole part where they go to the underworld was also very cool. I think it was filmed in Iceland, which if you're gonna find a portal to another realm, it's probably gonna be in Iceland. Also, the whole Circe chapter was well done too. It leaned into body horror in a cool way. I like how it strayed away from pop culture depictions of her as like an evil manipulator and made her more sympathetic as she's supposed to be in the original story. And overall, it just felt big and epic in a way only Nolan can really do nowadays. It's paced well too, it's 3 hours and I was never bored. You don't feel the runtime at all. I also think most of the changes from the original text were well done and appropriate for turning a 3,000-year-old epic poem into a 2026 Hollywood blockbuster. They definitely modernize a lot of the morals, and Odysseus fits more of what a good guy is in the modern day. They also cut out some stuff like when he goes to Phaeacia and they just glaze him and they have him tell his story to Calypso instead, which gets into my main complaint actually with the movie, which is the whole Calypso part. I just think it was a little undercooked and her character was a little boring. I actually like how she was handled in the Percy Jackson books more. Compared to Circe, she was very boring and I was disappointed about her part in the story. At the beginning, I thought I was going to have a problem with the editing because that was a problem in Oppenheimer for me. I wish Nolan did more long takes during dialogue scenes because a lot of them feel overcut and take away some of the natural drama for me. But after a while, I stopped noticing the editing, which they say is a sign of great editing. Now, I'll get into the acting. I think the best performances are hands down Matt Damon and Anne Hathaway. Matt Damon was never an actor I thought that much about. I was always just like, oh, that guy. But he really holds this film together in an incredible way. I was very impressed with him. And Anne Hathaway steals every scene she's in as Penelope. I won't be surprised if these two snag Oscar nominations. I know Tom Holland's performance in this is somewhat controversial. I thought he was kinda just fine. Not bad by any means, but not a standout either. I thought Charlize Theron gave us absolutely nothing as Calypso though. And last, let's talk about the score by Ludwig Göransson. It's quite experimental, using a lot of modern electronic elements, but also recreations of ancient Greek instruments and vocals. Overall, a really cool blend, and it kind of blends in with the overall sound design really well. It reminds me of Mika Levy's scores for Jonathan Glazer's films. I'm not quite in love with it as the Oppenheimer score though. But yeah, this was excellent, and I would 100% recommend it. That's kind of what I expected from this though. I just wish the Calypso storyline was a little better. Anyways, this gets a light 9 out of 10. Please like, subscribe, and comment what you thought about the Odyssey. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.